In last lecture, friends, we had seen how to use mathematical tools of analysis, calculus and analysis to derive mathematical model for business management. We had worked out how to find out EOQ, that is economic order quantity. Now today we'll use some more tools to find out the critical and optimum cost using some more mathematical tools. But before that, we'll see what are the limitations of economic order quantity. If you recollect formula what we did for getting total cost to be optimal, we had derived the formula in terms of ordering cost, demand and inventory holding cost. It was Q is equal to square root 2 AR upon H. But in practice, the demand is neither known with certainty nor is uniform over the time period. Sometimes for example, if you consider a week, on Monday it may be of 10 units, on Sunday it may be of 100 units. So it is neither constant nor uniform. If the fluctuations are mild, that is from 10 to 12, 12 to 14, that is what we call what we say as mild fluctuations, the formula is practically valid. But when fluctuations are wild, that is large enough, the formula loses its validity.
It is not easy to measure that the inventory holding cost and the ordering cost accurately, because sometimes that depends upon the thing, how much that storage capacities are there and all that, as well as the ordering cost may not be fixed over there, but it depends upon the ordered quantity that we are going to decide over there. The assumption that we have taken that zero lead time, and sometimes the inventory level reaches at the zero, and at that moment the replenishment is occurs and the inventory level becomes the maximum. That may be not true in general.
For example, consider a supermole where demand occurs continuously, and more the stock on the wardrobe, more the demand will be. So it is not necessary to have replenishment zero to order for the new quantities. The stock depletion is rarely uniform and gradual. That is, it is not necessary that it will go on decreasing till zero uniformly. One may have to take into account the constraint of floor space, capital investment, etc. in stocking the items in the inventory system. The floor space, for example, a warehouse has capacity of storing only 100 units. Then what about, and if you have order for 120 units, then problem will come with those 20 units. It may get damaged, or you may put it on one on the other, and strain will occur on the number of units stored. So that is what floor space means. Then capital investment. Suppose a firm has investment capacity of 1 lakh rupees and costing is 1.5 lakhs. Then what to do with extra 50,000 rupees? Next, so in order to consider such constraints in our mathematical model, we analyze inventory problems with different constraints.
Starting with the multi-items deterministic problem. In last economic order quantity, we had seen that the always model deals with only a single items, but it is not true in general. Sometimes a retailer has to deal with more than one items. In that case, when the inventory consists of several items under some limitations, such as the availability of warehouse spaces, or it may be the total investment associated with inventory, as well as the total number of orders which has to be placed at all times. That means how much space there is in warehouse over there, that we need to first of all consider. What is the total possible investment that we are having right now to do, and as well as how much we can order from the supplier from. The next is the number of delivery which should be acceptable, and the size of the delivery which can be handled. These are the etc. These are all the things that we need to decide over there.
Here number of deliveries which are acceptable means sometimes manufacturer do not accept more number of deliveries from manufacturer to warehouse because of transportation problem. So we need to know, we need to have constraint on number of deliveries Then size of delivery, for example, a truck can handle only 100 units, and if order is of 125 units, then 25 units extra the truck cannot load. So that is what we need to consider in developing a mathematical model when we are working with multi items. Then it is not possible to consider each item separately. That is, if you have 5 items, then for each 5 items we can't use economical order quantity and order for. So what we do, there should exist some relation among the items, because all the items may not be available at the same demand rate. So in that case, we use the technique of Lagrange's multiplier to optimize the goal. In all such problems, first of all, we solve the problem ignoring the limitations and then incorporate the effect of constraints. Let us start with the consider the system with n items in inventory with instantaneous production and no lead time. So here we kept assumptions of EOQ model, that is, demand is there, demand of each item is constant, production is infinite, and lead time is 0 or negligible. Assume that the demand is known and uniform at a rate of Ri per unit time for the ith item, where we are having n items to order for. Then corresponding inventory holding cost, that is Hi, for the ith item. Ai be the ordering cost per order for ith item.
If the shortages are not allowed in that case, then the total cost associated with the ith item particularly, that can be measured by the previous EOQ model over there, and that will be obtained by using this formula, that is 1 by 2 Hi Qi plus Ai Ri upon Qi.
The first component is inventory holding cost and second component is ordering cost per time unit.
Therefore, the total cost associated with our system is nothing but the total sum of all the total costs associated with each and every item particularly, and that will give you the K, which is summation of all the cost associated with ith item.
Now let us have first constraint, that of floor space. Suppose storage space required per unit of time by ith item is Fi square units, then the total floor area required by all the inventory items must be sum of all these Fi's, and say W is the total floor space available, that of the warehouse. So what our constraint becomes, for each Qi units you have a total required floor space is Fi units. For n items it will be summation of Ai Qi, but total maximum available floor space with the warehouse is W. So this sigma Fi Qi, that is sum of all the floor space required by all the n items of Qi units, will be less than or equal to W, and we are working with real problems, so Qi has to be non-negative. This constraint suggests that even if all items reach their maximum inventory level simultaneously, the warehouse will accommodate to its available floor area. Even if we know that some items have reached to its maximum level, but because of floor constraint it has to restrict in the area. Thus the problem reduces to minimize the total cost for each item together under warehouse capacity constraint. So mathematically we can minimize total cost, which is sum of n items of the total cost, that is inventory holding cost and ordering cost, subject to the constraint sigma Fi Qi less than or equal to W and Qi greater than or equal to 0. W is the floor space available with the warehouse. We need to minimize this total cost subject to the constraint available. So use the technique which you have studied in second year BSc, that is of Lagrange's method. Using this Lagrange's method, we formulate a new function which is called Lagrange's multiplier function as follows. Lagrange's function will be of decision variable Qi's where I is equal to 1 to n because we are holding n items and Lagrange multiplier lambda. So that is sum of total cost, that is k, plus lambda times whatever our constraint was, that was sigma fi qi minus omega,
where lambda is a non-negative integer which is known as a Lagrangian multiplier. To find out the optimal value of lambda and qi, we need to set out the two equation which is just as similar to find out the critical points over there. That is nothing but delta del L by del lambda equal to 0 and del L by del qi is equal to 0. After solving such equations, we can have a relationship between qi and lambda, that is in the form of qi is equal to square root of 2 ai ri upon hi plus 2 lambda times fi, where lambda indicates the additional cost which is related to storage area by each unit of the item. Suppose we have an example over here. A factory produces 3 types of product, the say 1, 2 and 3, and the warehouse total floor area which is available to us, that is a 4000 square meter, and the relevant data is for these 3 items is given by this table. This table shows the information about the first product, second product and third product. First row represents the demand which is per unit per year over there, and the total cost is represented purchase cost represented by the second row. The third row represents the ordering cost, and the fourth row represents the per unit square meter, that is storage capacity of first product as well as second product as well as third product over there.
The inventory carrying charge for the warehouse are 20% of the average valuation per month for each item. If stockouts are not allowed, determine the optimal lot size for each item. So what we are what our goal is, what should be the optimal lot size of each item, that is of all the 3 items, so that total cost remains minimum. Let's first work out lot size ignoring constraint of total warehouse capacity using formula 2 AIRI upon HI, that is what we had as an economic order quantity. It says that on slide we have Q1 is equal to 365 units, Q2 is equal to 346 units and Q3 is equal to 292 units. Let's see what is the total floor area required by this units. It turns out to be, we had information that first unit require 5 square meter, second unit require 4 square meter and third unit 10 square meter. So total area turns out to be 6129 square meter. But we are given that the area available, floor area available with the warehouse is only 4000 square meter. So this is not a feasible solution. So let us apply the constraint of floor area and Lagrange's multiplier technique. We start with lambda is equal to 1 and use the formula in terms of Lagrange's multiplier to get the economic order quantity. On slide you can see that Q1 is equal to 223 units. Of second type you can have 200 units and third type 187 units. Similar to what we did in the previous slide, if we work out total area by 3 items turns out to be 3785 square meter, but available is 4000. That means we are wasting some of the area, and that is which may not be affordable. So what we do, we reduce value of lambda. Say lambda is equal to 0.8, that gives total number of units to be purchased for the first item is 239 units, that of second is 274 units and third one is 200 units. Now these 3 items, these 3 procurement lots gives you total requires total area of 4051 square meter, which is 51 square meter more than the available area. Recollect, we have only 4000 square meter available with us. So let's see what so this suggests that value of lambda should be between 0.8 and 1.0. 1 was giving more area, it was using almost 3785 square meter, while second one lambda is equal to 0.8 is using 4000 51 square meter. So we need to know value of lambda between 0.8 and 1.0. This is similar to what we do in numerical methods in bisection form by bisection method. So let us have lambda is equal to 0.835. Then the total area, find out q1, q2 and q3. We get total area to be 3994 square meter, which is hardly 6 square meter is less than the available square meter, that is 4000, or you can say it is very close. So you can continue with this optimal solution, that is for lambda is equal to 0.385. whatever lot size you get, you can go for ordering all the 3 items, and that cost will turn out to be the minimum one. For lambda is equal to 0.83, the floor area is 4008, so still it reduces, which is very close to the available floor area 4000 square meter. However, as this value exceeds the available floor area, even though it is hardly very small, that is only 8 square meter, and which will not support the constraint sigma Fiqi to be less than or equal to W. So we need to go with 0.835 for lambda, and whatever corresponding lot size is for Q1, Q2 and Q3, that will give you minimum total cost. So what overall this problem says that finding value of lambda turns out to be a crude method. No doubt with computer programming, either you can do in C++ or Excel to go for nearest value of lambda, but be careful that constraint, whatever constraint is given, should not violate itself. That means it should not exceed the value of the constraint.
Next, starting with the problem of EOQ with inventory level constraint. That means in somewhere sometimes happens that we cannot go for the maximum inventory level because of we are having some constraint with the warehouses also, like we can store up to say 100 units, so that will becomes a problem with that. If our maximum level is 120 units, so there will be a problem with 20 units over there. So first of all, we need to make this problem to be mathematical, like we are having a constraint of, we know that average inventory level associated with each unit is nothing but 1/2 Qi, right? So sum of the total is sum of all the items is nothing but summation I is running from 1 to n, where Qi/2 is there. Suppose the maximum inventory that we are allowing over there, that is say n, so total will be nothing but less than, it must be less than or equal to n. So we are having a constraint like summation of Qi/2 is smaller than n. So our problems will becomes now to minimize the total cost of the given inventory subject to the constraint that all the inventory